Hey friends, today I'm going to be talking about this year's Oscars, the 95th Academy Awards. Oh boy, what a whirlwind this show was. Now, as you all probably know, the winner of Best Picture was Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I am so stoked about. And they really swept a lot of the main categories tonight, which is very exciting as a fan. If you're not that much of a fan, might not be as exciting, but I am personally so stoked. It was a pretty intense awards season this year, and for a lot of these categories, we had no idea which way it was gonna go. So it was pretty exciting to watch. To see who would actually win in each category, it was neck and neck. So I can't wait to break all these categories down and tell you how I felt all about them. So let's go. So I am happy to say that my favorite film of the year, Everything Everywhere All at Once, took home the big award for Best Picture. It also managed to take home so many other awards in the main categories, including Best Director, Best Original Screenplay, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actor and Supporting Actress, and Best Editing. Every single category that it felt like they were the front runner in, they really seemed to win. But it was really awesome to see at the final moment, Michelle Yeoh and Jamie Lee Curtis win the 2 Actress Awards. It really didn't feel like it was going their way this award season, but after seeing them win at the Screen Actors Guild Awards, it was very, very close. And to see Michelle Yeoh become the first Asian woman to win Best Actress and the second woman of color ever to win Best Actress after Halle Berry in 2002 for Monsters Ball, it is a moment. And as she said during her Oscars speech, history has been made tonight. And I'm so happy to see that it has. This was a very competitive year for actress. You had Michelle Yeoh going up against Cate Blanchett in Tar, who was the frontrunner for a lot of the season and gave what some people think is one of the best acting performances put to film. You had Andrea Riseborough, the surprise nomination for To Leslie, who could have, hey, completely surprised everyone and won Best Actress here as well. And you also had Michelle Williams, who's very beloved in The Fabelmans. So Michelle Yeoh had quite a difficult path to get in the Oscar, and I just feel like the narrative was right in her place. To see Halle Berry hand the Oscar to Michelle Yeoh on that stage was monumental. And on top of that, it's only the 3rd time in Academy history that 3 of the acting awards have gone to one film. It's only happened twice before, A Streetcar Named Desire and Network, but this year, Everything Everywhere All at Once managed to get it. Who would have thought when they were announcing the nominations that Jamie Lee Curtis would be the winner of Best Supporting Actress, but I'm so happy she was. She has been a force during awards season this year. She has been championing not only her film, but also her fellow actors. It's not a surprise to see that she kind of took the win home. She is very beloved. She's been in this industry for a long time. And as she said in her speech, she's been performing in a lot of genre films that don't really get Academy recognition or love. This was a win for actors in genre films. And of course, Ke Huy Quan winning Best Supporting Actor, probably the most solid category this year. His story is just beautiful. And his speech, honestly, it made me tear up. I'm so happy that he was able to walk away with an Oscar. He has not had an easy career, and he really thought about giving up and the possibility that maybe this acting career wasn't for him. But he's proved that if he just gets the right role, and if Hollywood allows more diversity and really opens up the roles to all kinds of minorities and all kinds of different backgrounds, we can see some really interesting performances. And this one is probably one of the most interesting performances to win Best Supporting Actor. So I'm so happy that he got in for that. And it is also the first time that 2 Asian actors have won acting awards in the same year. That is another monumental achievement that happened this year. I absolutely love a lot of Chinese, Japanese, and Korean cinema. So to see these actors and also these films, for example, Parasite, you know, making this leap across the pond into America and do really well at the Oscars, it really is humbling and wonderful to see. Now, I will say that during the actual Oscars program, about halfway through, it really started to feel like Everything Everywhere All at Once was gonna be beaten. What? How did it happen?
What happened?
So the German Netflix film All Quiet on the Western Front, around halfway through the ceremony, started winning award after award after award, and especially in categories that it wasn't necessarily the front runner in. It made it really feel like there was suddenly a lot of passion behind this movie, and it was on its way to a massive sweep, where it just takes over every single category, wins all the way up to Best Picture. It wasn't necessarily all in a row, but over the course of like 30 minutes to an hour, it won cinematography, Best International Feature Film, it won production design, and it won score. Particularly production design and score, where a lot of people thought Babylon was probably the front runner, and even Everything Everywhere All at Once was nominated in one of those categories. To see All Quiet on the Western Front win, it felt like there was this sudden surge of passion and support for that film that many people weren't really expecting, and fear settled upon me. I really started to wonder, maybe there's more love for All Quiet on the Western Front than any other movie nominated this year. It won the BAFTA for Best Picture this year, so there is a lot of love for it. It's a very timely war film as we're dealing with a war right now in the Ukraine. You start to wonder, maybe the Academy are actually loving this film a lot more than we realize, and it's gonna beat Everything Everywhere All at Once. Which, hey, if you're an All Quiet fan, that's great. You're like, come on, come on, come on. But for me, I was an Everything Everywhere All at Once fan, and so I was like, please do not take this away from me. I need this film to win. But on top of that, as you're watching the ceremony, I started to wonder, if there isn't that much support for Everything Everywhere All at Once, maybe we're gonna see Michelle Yeoh miss out on winning actress, which thank God she didn't. But as you're watching, there is these fears running through your mind when your favorite movie starts to lose. And when you see its probably closest competitor winning a lot of awards that it wasn't necessarily gonna win, it's a moment that freaks you out. But I am happy to say all that fear was put to rest once Sarah Polley walked on stage to win for Women Talking, which beat All Quiet on the Western Front for Best Adapted Screenplay. I did breathe a big sigh of relief. I'm really happy that Sarah Polley won this award this year. It was a beautifully made film and a very beautifully written film, very dialogue heavy. And I also love what she was really trying to say with this movie. If you go watch her Oscars speech, which is just beautiful, you can really see what she was trying to achieve with this film. But I really should have known that seeing Jamie Lee Curtis win supporting actress at the start of the night, there was a lot of support for Everything Everywhere All at Once, and I really shouldn't have worried. I wish that we could have seen a few more tech category wins for this film. It really only won editing. I really feel like it could have been in line to win Best Score and Best Costume Design. I wish it won Best Costume Design, but that was a stacked category this year. As well, it missed out on a couple really good nominations, like it missed out on sound and even Best Visual Effects. This film was made for like a next to nothing budget, so to see a small film like that get nominated for these tech categories really would have been extraordinary, but alas, the Academy didn't nominate them, so they couldn't win. But I do wonder, if they had been nominated, would they have won those categories? I think it's hard going up against Top Gun and Avatar. Like, you're probably not gonna win when it's a plain movie and a very visual effect heavy movie, but it would have been nice to see them get the recognition for pulling off such an incredible movie on such a small budget. Now to one of my favorite wins of the night, Brendan Fraser for The Whale. I really don't have much to say about this except that I'm ecstatic that he won, and seeing him give his speech on stage, you could see just how much winning this Oscar meant to him. He really disappeared from Hollywood for quite some time. I think he just faded from the limelight and really couldn't get back into it. He had a lot of great action movie roles back in the late 90s and early 2000s. And then I think a lot of those roles kind of dried up for him and he wasn't able to make any kind of comeback in any way. So seeing him deliver such a devastating and honest performance in The Whale, it really felt like the comeback of the century. I think at first, just like with Jamie Lee Curtis's nomination, it felt like the nomination was the win. Like, yay, you're back in the conversation, like you're welcomed back into Hollywood and you're welcomed into the award season, we love you, but that's as far as we're gonna go. And I really feel like in Brendan Fraser's situation, he deserved to win it. He really gave such an incredible, iconic, and raw performance that really showed that he's not just an action star. Like, he can do drama and he can do it well. I'm so happy to see him win. I literally got up from my chair and screamed. I was so happy. I was sad that Austin Butler missed out. I do think he gave a phenomenal performance as Elvis. I do wonder if his campaign strategy is what let him down. Continually talking about how he still talks like Elvis was kind of a weird thing to do, but it's what happened. I guess he was still kind of talking like Elvis. It's hard to get rid of that character when you're performing as them for so long. But I kind of see the same thing that happened to Lady Gaga for House of Gucci, where she was very serious during the Oscar campaign. She was very much talking about how I am a serious actor and I went to extreme lengths to do this performance. I kind of sensed that with Austin Butler's campaign for Elvis as well. And I wonder if that hindered him a little bit. It just felt like maybe the Academy don't want to really award people that are taking it a little too seriously. I don't know. Let me know what you think, because I just wonder, it's interesting that he had so much momentum going into it. And particularly when it comes to musical biopics, a lot of actors kind of slam dunk in this category, but maybe it's another sign of musical biopic fatigue. I mean, we didn't see Taron Egerton nominated for Rocketman a couple of years ago. There's been a lot of musical biopics that have missed out recently, so I'm gonna kind of put it down to that as to why he didn't win. It's sad because I wish we could give an Oscar to like literally every actor in that category. They were really outstanding this year. So I'm really happy Brendan won, but once again, people have to miss out, and that's really sad. The other thing that I found really interesting about the tech categories this year is that we really saw a complete shutout of a lot of Best Picture nominees. Most years at the Academy Awards, they really love to spread the wealth. So in many years, you'll see a lot of the 10 Best Picture nominees actually winning 1 or 2 awards in the tech categories or in the screenplay categories. Ever since they've opened up Best Picture to a preferential ballot and having 10 nominees, I found that they've spread the wealth more in who they give Oscars to. It seems to me that every year, the Best Picture nominees, most of them will walk away with some Oscar, usually in a tech category or a writing category or an acting category. It's very rare for movies to completely sweep anymore. I really did wonder if Everything Everywhere was gonna sweep everything this year. It didn't, which is nice. It's nice to spread the wealth, but I found All Quiet on the Western Front was the other one that kind of swept a lot of the tech categories. And with Everything Everywhere sweeping a lot of the acting and writing in the main categories, there wasn't much spreading the wealth this year. On top of that, it was actually the non-Best Picture nominees that took away some of the tech categories. We had The Whale taking makeup and Black Panther, Wakanda Forever taking costumes. We did see Top Gun and Avatar, 2 Best Picture nominees, also get some of the tech categories, but it's interesting that we had a shout out of so many of the Best Picture nominees. This to me was probably the biggest shock of the night. Elvis went home with nothing. I really thought, being a Baz Luhrmann film, they love Baz Luhrmann films. I mean, Great Gatsby, Moulin Rouge, these films have won so many Oscars in the past, particularly for Catherine Martin, who she has won Oscars in costume design and production design for pretty much every Baz Luhrmann movie that comes out. So I really thought she was another front runner to win costume and production design this year. So it was quite shocking to see that she didn't. But on top of that, Elvis also missed in Best Actor. Austin Butler was a front runner for Best Actor for a lot of this award season. So it's interesting to me that Elvis missed out completely. I'm honestly not sad about it. I think he gave a phenomenal performance in Elvis, but Best Actor this year was tight. And I was personally rooting for Brendan Fraser. So I'm really happy to see that he won. It is a loss that Elvis didn't win anything. I think there was a lot of love for this movie, but I do wonder if, being a biopic, maybe the Academy are getting a little bit exhausted by them. Fingers crossed, because there have been a lot of music biopics in the past. Bohemian Rhapsody, which a few people scorned the wins of Bohemian Rhapsody in editing and actor. It hasn't really held up. Today, I disagree. I personally love Rami Malek and I love Queen, so of course I love that movie. But yeah, so I wonder if the backlash against Bohemian Rhapsody winning so many Oscars may have prevented voters from wanting to give Elvis any wins as well. We may look back and think, that's crazy, they didn't do that, but I think we're gonna look back and go, yeah, it's nice that they chose their favorite. You know, they picked something else. My biggest disappointment that missed was The Banshees of Inisherin. I loved this movie. So much of it was so good. And I think in any other year, this movie would definitely have won Best Original Screenplay. It was probably neck and neck with Everything Everywhere. I really couldn't pick between the two. I love them both. So I'm kind of sad to see that it didn't go home with anything. It's a fabulous movie, so if you get the chance, definitely watch it. I mean, the acting in that is great. If they had a cast award, I would love to see them win that too. It was just a tough year for them. I think going up against the juggernaut that is Everything Everywhere All at Once, it's gonna be hard to beat that. And sadly, The Banshees of Inisherin got laid to rest. because of that. But they weren't the only one. The Fabelmans completely missed in every category. I don't think it was at the front for any of them. I would have loved to see John Williams win another Oscar for his score. That would have been a really beautiful moment to see him go up on stage. I think they said he was like 91 years old, and what a career. And I personally loved this score. I think it was one of my favorites of the category. But alas, Fabelmans missed out. And Lydia Tarr missed out on an Oscar. She cannot EGOT, unfortunately. Yeah, Cate Blanchett was probably the best chance that Tarr had to win an Oscar, and Michelle Yeoh took it right at the last moment, just as the race is about to end. She got right in the front. So I'm really happy about that, really happy, but it is sad that Tarr missed out. I think Cate Blanchett has 2 Oscars so far. There's no real need necessarily to give her a third one. She should probably have 5 by now. She's that incredible in so many films. But I think this year it makes sense that she misses out. I am 100% sure that Cate Blanchett will be back to win an Oscar very soon. So don't you worry, she's gonna top Tarr for sure. And a few extra categories that I want to talk about. I was so stoked to see An Irish Goodbye win Best Short Film. I didn't know if it was going to do it, so I'm stoked. I really thought they were going to give the win to Alfonso Cuarón in Best Short Film, so it's nice to see that. I feel like maybe the Academy actually watched a lot of the short films this year and they just gave it to the one that was the most wholesome and that was probably also the most entertaining, and I loved this film, so I'm really happy to see it win. And it was so beautiful to see the entire crowd wishing the actor who was in that film a happy birthday live on stage. What a moment for him to remember. Guillermo del Toro winning for Best Animated Feature. I know this was pretty much a slam dunk, but it's just so wonderful to see. So much time and effort went into making that stop motion animation film, and it is utterly beautiful. I'm sad it didn't get nominations in production design and score. I feel like this could have been an animated film that gets a lot of tech nominations, and that would be pretty groundbreaking, but unfortunately it didn't. Guillermo del Toro is at the front lines. He's pushing to make sure that animation is more respected. It is not just a category for children. Adults can really enjoy animation as well, and I think we need to give a push towards respecting animators and respecting animated films as a whole, because there is so much more to them than just the movie for kids, you know. Maybe I'll do a video about it in the future. I really think I might, because there's so much to say on this topic, and I really wish that animation was more loved. Even seeing some animated movies in Best Picture would be amazing. I think it's only 3 animated movies in the whole history of the Academy Awards that have been nominated for Best Picture, which is kind of sad. There have been so many incredible animated movies over the years that should be taken a lot more seriously. So hopefully there is a push for that. Also, just want to talk about the performances for Best Song. I'm so happy that Naatu Naatu from RRR took Best Song. I think it was the most deserving in the category, especially after you watch that live performance. It is brilliant. I loved every minute of it. I'm so happy to see. Actually, all the song performances this year was great. Seeing Lady Gaga and Rihanna get up and perform. Stephanie Hsu with David Byrne was great as well. I think that Diane Warren's song Applause from Tell It Like a Woman was probably the only letdown. I wasn't particularly excited by that performance. I have planned a video about Diane Warren's weird connection with the Academy Awards, so wait for that one. Maybe it wasn't the best selection to be put in Best Song from a ceremony perspective. I mean, there was probably another song that might have been a lot more exciting to see performed live. It would have been pretty exciting to see Taylor Swift perform at the Academy Awards, but we got what we got. I'm so happy with Naatu Naatu there, and I'm literally gonna go and watch that video again right now on YouTube. I loved it. I think one of the biggest takeaways that I got from this year is how much impact promoting your movie during the voting season has on who gets selected, not just in the nominations, but in the winners. The voting period happened around the exact same time as the SAG Awards, the Screen Actors Guild Awards, and we saw the exact same 4 winners from the SAG Awards repeat here at the Oscars. So I think there was a huge surge for the winners at the SAG Awards during the voting period for them. It allows voters at the Academy to see, oh, there is merit in giving these people wins. They are deserving. Here they are getting up on stage and winning a SAG award. If Jamie Lee Curtis hadn't won the Screen Actors Guild Award, I do wonder if people might have thought, yeah, her win was the nomination. But because she won at the SAG Awards, I feel like maybe the Academy started thinking, oh, she's capable of winning. I love that. Let's award her at the Oscars too, for such a great career and also a great performance. A lot of people don't know if she necessarily should have won the Oscar, if she was really the best in the category. But I really believe that this is what the category was created for. You know, she was definitely a supporting performance. She's not in the majority of the film, but she makes an impact on the movie. She also does what all the other actors do in this film, which is deliver not just comedy and wackiness, but also heart and emotion. And you really see a woman go through a whole character arc throughout the course of a film through just a few scenes. And I feel like that is what the supporting actor and actress categories were made for. These people that really make an impact on the film and aren't necessarily the lead roles. You know, they take the back seat, but really propel the story forward. It also allows for comedy and genre performances to break through. So often in the acting categories, it is all about the drama and the heavyweights and who's delivering the most gut-wrenching performance. But it's nice to see someone deliver a very outlandish and comedy performance. We don't see that winning often. So I love that this year Jamie Lee Curtis was able to do something like that. And if the SAG Awards allowed her to win an Oscar, I'm stoked. We can now say Academy Award winner, Jamie Lee Curtis. Which is just so fun. But back to the voting period thing. I also saw it with Andrea Riseborough's campaign during Oscar voting for the nominations, when that social media campaign went absolutely ballistic right during voting week, and it helped secure her nomination. I'm starting to think that during Oscars voting period, that is when you want to be the most seen. That is when you want to win whatever award is being handed out that week, and that is when you want to be all over social media, you want to be memeable, you want to be right there, center, for all of the Academy to see you. I think that's really what's gonna push you to the win at the Oscars. This was such a great Oscars. For me personally, I love Everything Everywhere All at Once. So to see it win so many of the big awards, I'm just so happy. And we really made history tonight at the Oscars. So well done, Academy. You have stepped it up this year. I'm so happy. And yeah, let me know what you think. Were you happy with the wins this year? Let me know, were there any that you would change? Was there anything that really pissed you off? Do let me know. I love the conversation. I love talking about everything awards season and movies, even music and TV. I've got so many videos coming all about the entertainment world. So please subscribe if you love talking about this stuff too. Leave a like and definitely leave me a comment and we can have a discussion about the Oscars this year. Thank you so much for watching. It's your friend Phil and I hope you have a great week. Bye.